Hello everybody, Digital Unity here, and this week on Digital Unity versus Programming, poll results dictated a pet sim, I made a sprite sheet, and the first implementations of the AI are beginning to take shape. So day one was Monday, and I needed to make our pets for this pet sim. The design I came up with was something like this. It's like a chow with a computer monitor for a head. I've had these guys running around in my brain for a good couple years now. They're a favorite design of mine. Internally, I've called them BBs, but I'm always looking for a better name for them. The original concept was very much built to function as a successor to Chow, but as I started to think about this adventuring aspect of the game, which was new as a result of needing something more exciting to do with the idea, I began to think of other ways to make them behave. Right now, the idea is to have floppy disks that contain data to upgrade and evolve your robot baby things, but I'm not sure how I want to go about that yet. In total, I made a bulk of what I would consider the garden sprites that are necessary for implementing the basic features. Day 2. I fell off with this one. I'm not gonna pretend I didn't. I woke up late and needed to edit a bunch of stuff, hadn't recorded the KSP video yet, nothing happened on day 2. But this would be a good time to talk about the general goals for this project. First, the pet sim aspect. I love the Chow Guard, as I'm sure many of you do as well. I want these dumb little robot guys to run around and be cute, to laugh and cry and play, to eat energy fruits off of batter trees, to evolve and change and grow and eventually either die or reboot. But there is a second aspect of this game, being the adventure. I've called it a dungeon crawler twist, but that's more of a misnomer. Yes, I want there to be items that your pets can get to give them stats. Race badges, dojo prizes, cool hats they find on the ground, but I'm looking and leaning more toward a turn-based party system. 4 of your robots can venture out with you to another area of the island, fighting monsters for loot and drops along the way, and once you arrive, you can freely travel between the areas again and again at your leisure and to your heart's content. Different areas would give you access to different games, different food, different colors of robots, and different abilities and stat effects, like you have a better time raising a strength pet in a volcano garden or some such. It's a big project, and I'm glad this is the one I get to work on, but it is admittedly quite daunting. This was a productive day. I modeled and textured a test environment, dropped our little man into the world, and now I'm properly ready to start implementing the big stuff like moving around sometimes and needing nourishment and statistical whoosits. I've got a few ideas in mind. I already want these lads to behave a lot like Chow, so they'll need to start gravitating toward water they can't swim in. Chow raisers will know what I'm talking about. Oh, but DU, it's a robot. Wouldn't letting it swim be dangerous? I mean, maybe, but it's a video game. If I want the robot to swim, I'll make it swim. It should be noted that this beach area is totally empty right now. Not just barren, it's devoid. Firstly, this is not how the beach will look. The textures might be similar, but right now, this is little more than a test bed. I have ideas for a lot of things that can be added and adjusted, but I need an area to throw things at the wall before I can start designing the ideal habitat for these little fellas. Rest assured, once I get things grooving, this beach will become far larger. Day 4. This was a day full of theory crafting and attempting to implement basic movement within the area. I was going to remove the barriers and simply have the pets move within a circular radius, but this quickly seemed non-expandable. I put the walls back in the next day, but at the time, not managing to make things move around for a whole day really put me off my game. Pun acknowledged, but unintended. The basic idea at the time was to have a Bezier curve be drawn between the dot's target location and itself, and then to simply move along that curve. On day 4, however, I was not smart enough to figure out how to do that. I tried, and I just couldn't make it work. I came up empty-handed on day 4, and it's very disappointing to me personally, but thankfully I was able to make things a little bit better on day 5. Speaking of, Friday, the last day of the week. I'll probably still work on things on the weekend because I'm having fun, but for now, this is sufficient. So what happened? Well, thanks to the incredible efforts of a lovely Discord user in the Reddit r/GameDev Discord server, I don't know how I got here, I don't have a Reddit account, but they're the most responsive of the 3 dev Discords I'm in, so I'm glad to be here. I was able to, after a fashion, implement basic movement. Here's how it works. First, the pet runs a movement check, with a 50% chance to fail. Either the pet will generate a Bezier curve to the target location, or it won't, and it'll stand still for the next 1 to 10 seconds. If it does generate a curve, it'll send out a signal with randomized coordinates. The The target marker will then move to those coordinates and supply its location to this dummy node, which generates a curve with a random deviation from there. Then, using the pet's speed stat divided by 10 times delta time, the dummy node moves along the curve and the pet sets its x and z coordinates to those of the dummy node. It's not perfect, I'll be fine-tuning it throughout the weekend, but for now I'm quite happy to have my guy moving around in 3D space. Next week, I want to implement a few more basics, like hunger, swimming, animations. This, however, is a very strong start in my mind. Obviously, with devlogs coming out week by week, progress won't look like much at first, but you're getting the raw experience here. No cutting out the boring parts, no editing only the best bits, the full game dev experience. I'll be hard at work on this, and I'll see you all again next week.